Welcome to episode 28 of the Credit Card BS podcast. My name is Shaun. I'm the UC Berkeley graduate that created and taught the university-sponsored course on credit card rewards. I am still comically sunburned, and I'm coming at you today from the Andaz, Costa Rica at Peninsula Papagayo. This place is absolutely phenomenal, some of the best food and service I've had at any hotel. Today I'm joined with my co-host, Sherwin.
Hi everyone, I'm Sherwin. I'm a Stanford student who's really into the points, miles, travel hobby. First got into this game about a year or two ago. Since then, I've amassed a bunch of points and gone on a lot of cool trips like the one Shaun is at now. So today we have a very special episode. We're doing a credit card fantasy draft sort of mini game. How this will work is Shaun and I will take turns picking cards in our so-called collection, and at the end we'll have you, the audience, vote down in the comments on who gets the better collection. Now we're going to restrict ourselves to what we call our keeper cards. So Shaun, why don't you tell us what a keeper card is in our definition?
Yeah, so we're defining a keeper card as any credit card that you can justify the annual fee on year after year, just using the recurring benefits of that credit card. So not spend-based requirements. So for example, like the Hilton Surpass with the $15K free night certificate this free night certificate after spending $15K, that wouldn't technically be a keeper perk in the sense because you have to spend money to get it. However, like a resort credit or a hotel credit that you automatically get without having to spend, but you have to like spend the credit, that's fine. That's still a keeper perk. So the sign-up bonus doesn't count, any spend-based requirement doesn't count, but the recurring keeper benefits of the card is what we're mainly looking at in terms of, who has the better setup here.
Yeah, okay, so how this is going to work for our game today is Shaun is going to go first, and then since he went first, I'll get the next two picks, and then he'll get the next two picks. So once we pick a card, it is off the table for the other person. Also, we don't have a set list of cards we're looking at together. So if I think of a card that Shaun didn't think of, I can throw him off and vice versa. So this will be a little more interesting that way.
Definitely, yeah. Okay, so are we ready to get started? Or anything else?
Yeah, go for it. And then, so Shaun, why don't you start with your first pick?
I think you already know what my first pick is.
I feel like I already know what it is.
He already knows. I'm going with the Hilton Aspire, okay, even after the recent changes. Hilton Aspire, first pick. One of the most keeper cards that there is. Free night certificate, now $400 of resort credit, $200 of airline credit that you can, it's a little tougher to use, but you can still use it. I think the card, even after its most, its changes, is still a full keeper. Now, I will say we are not allowed to get multiple of these cards in this fantasy draft. If I was making my own setup, of course, I would choose to get multiple of them. But in this case, my fantasy draft is a single Hilton Aspire card, which is now taken, him off the table for him. So that's my first pick. I think you knew that was coming. That was a pretty obvious.
Yeah, that was a very good pick. I definitely would have gone for that early too if I could,
but now you got two to pick.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'll throw some curveballs early in the game. So I'm gonna go for the IHG Business card as my first pick. This is a very underrated card in my opinion. It's only a $95 annual fee, but automatically each year you get a free night certificate worth 40,000 IHG points that can be topped up. So if you want to do a 45,000 night stay, you can use the certificate plus 5,000 points, for example. What other person? Oh, it is a business card. Doesn't count toward 524, which is great. You can get platinum status just by having the card, which is the second highest status in IHG. That comes with benefits like upgrades. I really like the buy 3 get 1 perk it comes with. So if you book 4 nights in a row using points, the 4th night is free. So that can reduce your costs by about 25%, which is pretty awesome. Even though it's $95 a fee, it comes with pre-check credit. It comes with United Travel Bank credit. It's worth $50 per year, broken down $25 per half year. Super underrated hotel card in my opinion. Shaun, am I missing any key benefits?
I know. I think that's. Other than the spend-based stuff, I think you're pretty much on it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the free night certificate itself just pays for itself, I think, because you can get $200 to $300 worth of rooms, and the annual fee is $95. I think that's an easy pick. Okay. Since I went second, I get to go again. So my next pick will be the Capital One Venture X. Now, I think this is one of the few more premium cards that we can really consider keeper cards. Venturex is, a great general travel card. It earns you 2x points on all purchases that can be converted into airline miles with their transfer partners, so potentially unlock even more value. But what makes it a keeper is that it's only a $395 annual fee, which sounds like a lot, but each year you get $300 of travel credit to use through their portal. Now it's through their portal and not just general spend, which makes it a little more annoying, but fairly easy to justify even if you just do one booking a year on it. You also get 10,000 miles every anniversary, 10,000 points, which is equivalent to, at the very minimum, $100. So if you take that $100 plus the $300 credit, that's $400, already outweighs the $395 annual fee. But the 10,000 points can be probably worth more if you're transferring to partners correctly. And this card is also great because it comes with priority pass, not only for the primary card holder, but also for every authorized user. And I think the first, was it 3 or 4 authorized users are completely free. So it's a great way to have party pass for your entire family at basically a negative $5 effective annual fee. So that's my second pick.
Damn. Okay, he hit me with those 2 good picks there. I'm gonna have to fight back. So okay, I've gotten the Hilton Aspire already. I have the clear credit now. I have some decent hotel stuff. I'm trying to think what I want to do next year. I think one, I gotta grab this now before it's too late. I'm gonna grab the Wyndham Business Card. That's another favorite of mine. Now, unfortunately, okay, it's my favorite use of the Wyndham Business Card is to use Wyndham points for Vacasa vacation rentals. Just today, as of recording, they've devalued this from basically the cap of what you could book with the Wyndham points. Like the value of the vacation rental used to be $500 per night per bedroom. Now it's $350 per night per bedroom. Even with this devaluation, I still think this card is very powerful. Okay, so you get automatic Wyndham Diamond status, which is the only way to get Wyndham Diamond status without having to actually do any maintenance to earn it. Okay, because their status match now is a match challenge, so you actually have to stay. So you get that automatically, which can get you Caesar's Diamond status, which is very nice to have if you want casino status. You want, no resort fees at Las Vegas, which you can use Caesar's Diamond status to also leverage amazing perks such as complimentary or heavily discounted cruises. By using that status, sending it into various cruise lines, they think you're a big gambler. They'll send you discounted cruises. That's a great, really nice perk there. You also get 10% off Wyndham points redemptions, including for Vacasa. So it saves you 10% on your Vacasa redemptions. You get it every year. You get 15,000 Wyndham points for keeping the card. That in and of itself pays for the card. So I think it's a really, really nice all-around powerful card. Oh, it's also a great gas card, 8x on gas purchases. So I think that's a very, very good card, and it's a good card to keep in the long term. Now, so that's my second pick. Now, I get to pick a second one now. I have to grab something, before you take all the good premium cards, I think I need to go for something with a nice premium benefit. I'm going to go for the Sapphire Reserve. Now, normally, I wouldn't necessarily go for the Sapphire Reserve, but I think an important reason to grab it is a variety of reasons here. One, we need a card that can transfer chase points to Hyatt. That's a given. We're going to need that in any keeper card setup. That's a necessity. 2, we need a premium travel card of some sort. And there's not that many out there that we can get that have everything that we need as a perk in terms of just keeper benefits, okay? So, and then I want the Priority Pass restaurants as well. The Priority Pass membership and the Priority Pass restaurants. I think that's because, Priority Pass on a lot of cards doesn't, and most cards, basically every card, by Amex, Capital One, most of them, there's only a very small subset of cards where the Priority Pass gives you access to not just lounges, but restaurants and experience as well. And so the Sapphire Reserve is one of those cards. So I think with that and with the insurances it provides and, all of those benefits, it ties into a very nice, now the credits itself doesn't fully offset the card, but with the other perks we have, I think it does nicely give us a good, powerful card that, has most of the things that we need. And that if, it could make sense to keep, especially since we need everything I just mentioned.
I mean, I have to slightly disagree with Shaun here that the Sapphire Reserve is a keeper card. Yeah, I'll still let you keep this in your collection in our game, but yeah, I wouldn't call this a keeper card. I mean, come on, it has a $550 annual fee. There's a $300 credit. It's easy to use. You're still at $250 effective annual fee. Sure, throw in the Instacart and DoorDash and
There's some other credits.
GoPuff
I
or
will say,
whatever.
like those, it depends
Like,
on the time they're doing it, but there are other credits with the card. And I agree. I will concede it isn't the best keeper card, but you have to think there's only 3 cards that fit the need of transferring points out to partners: the Ink, the Sapphire Preferred, or this.
yes, but even if I'm paying like the $95 annual fee for Ink Preferred just for the transfer partners, that's still less than the $250 effective annual fee on Sapphire Reserve, which, I mean, we talked about this in more detail in episode 2 of our podcast, which is titled Chase Trifecta is Overrated. You can go check that out for more details on our thoughts. But I'm going to move on in a bit, but I just don't think this is an actual keeper card. But let us know in the comments what you think. Okay. I think my next 2 picks are going to be, well, first, the World of Hyatt cards. So I think this is a good pick because it's only a $95 annual fee. Each year it gives you a category 1 through 4 certificate. You can use at any category 1 through 4 property for a night. Can easily be worth $200 to $300, if not more, easily making up the annual fee. Now, I do have to say, I feel like the category 4 certificates are getting harder to use in the US because of these devaluations, many properties going above category 4, or just like hotels being really expensive in the US. So I will concede this is a slight disadvantage, category 4 certificate. But come on, for a $95 annual fee, it's still super worth it, in my opinion. Shaun, what do you think about this particular certificate?
No, I think that's a great pick. I think it's the biggest perk for me with the card is that it helps make it globalist easier. But even without that, the certificate is nice to have, and the base level Hyatt status, if you're not going for globalist, is also nice to have because it's not there's not really any other way to get Hyatt status.
Yeah, it comes with Discover status just by having it, which I think is pretty good for credit card. 2 p.m. guaranteed late checkout, bottled water. I mean, you're not going to get the fancy globalist upgrades, but it's good for just having the card. And then what Shaun is saying for getting globalist easier is that each year automatically gives you 5 Elite Night credits. And then also, if you spend $5,000 on the card in a year, for every $5,000 you spend, you get 2 Elite Night credits. That can get you closer to the threshold you need. So yeah, this is a keeper in my book, definitely. Okay, so far I have IHG Business, VentureX, World of Hyatt. I get to pick one more. I think I'm gonna go down this hotel train here. I'm gonna pick the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless card. This is also a $95 annual fee card, and it comes with a free night certificate each year worth up to 35,000 points. Now, Marriott recently now allows you to top up your free night certificates up to 15,000 additional points. So potentially I can book something up to 50,000 points using a 35K anniversary certificate if I have up to the 15,000 points in my account to accompany the certificate for the booking. I will say the Marriott certificate is a little weaker given how fast things have devalued. 35K might not get you super far. But one other big reason I picked this card is because it affords you the opportunity to upgrade after at least a year to the Ritz-Carlton card. The Ritz-Carlton card is now discontinued for new applicants, but if you have the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless, you can upgrade to it. Its main perks are that for a $450 annual fee, you get $300 in airline incidental credit. It's a little more annoying to use than the Amex one. Like, you have to call in a secure message to credit it, but people have reported success using it. So that's $300. And then you get an 85K certificate, which is much more valuable than the 35K one. And then you can top up similarly with up to 15,000 points for potentially a stay that would cost up to 100,000 points. So, and then you get gold status with the Ritz card. My view, it's a better, it represents better value than what's the other one? Bonvoy Boundless from Amex, which is what, $695?
I mean the Brilliant.
Sorry, Brilliant. American Express Brilliant, which is like, is it $650 or $695 annual?
$650
something. Yeah, it gives you the platinum status, which is higher, but it's so much harder to justify the annual fee. So that's why I'm picking the Bonvoy Boundless. Though I will say there are other cards that give you 35K Marriott certificates, and I might have gone for those, but I chose the Boundless because you can upgrade to the Ritz card.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was going to pick the Ritz card, but I guess I can't now because I guess since I can't I don't know how the rule would work there because, you can't technically pick it either because the Boundless, you'd have to upgrade to the Ritz, but I guess I can't pick it because you can't apply for the Ritz. But I would normally pick the Ritz card, but I'll concede, let's say in this case, I cannot take the Ritz card because you've taken the predecessor, the base evolution for it. So what I will do instead, I'm going to grab the IHG personal card because you grab the IHG business. I'm allowed to grab the IHG personal.
That's a 524 slot that I don't have to take, that you have to
Wait,
take.
hold on. But we're just playing keeper cards. We
Right.
are not considering the 524 aspect.
That's true, but I still think the business card is better for that reason.
But I mirror all the benefits of the business card. I now have every benefit. So the 40K free night certificate, the fourth night free on award stays, the platinum status, etc. So that's a nice card to have there. Next, now you just said that the Brilliant was not a good card, but I am going to grab the Amex Marriott Brilliant. Okay, now here's why.
Oh no, okay.
Now he said it wasn't a good card, hard to justify. I disagree because it's a $650 annual fee. You get $300 back a year in dining credits. Now I understand you have to use the dining credits. It's $25 a month. It can be a little annoying, but the dining credit is so broad on that card that it's honestly not that hard to use. If you use it at one restaurant a month or it doesn't even have to be like a restaurant. It could be like a takeout place. It could be like a more casual, like food truck or whatever. As long as it codes as any kind of food, it credits it. So that's not that hard to use in my mind. Then you get the 85K free night certificate, which works at the vast majority of Marriott Bonvoy properties. Okay, and that works at like very high tier places. But the most important part, to me at least, is the platinum status, because I think we can both agree that Marriott Gold is complete garbage trash, while Marriott Platinum status is slightly less complete garbage trash in the sense that you get your breakfast benefit, which if you're going at international nice hotels is a legitimately nice breakfast benefit. You get lounge access, which at international hotels is a very, very nice benefit. If you've seen some of the club lounges in Asia, my God, they are nice. And then, of course, you are now eligible for suite upgrades, and you are much higher priority for room upgrades. So if you are going to nice hotels, you're much more likely to have upgraded rooms and better experiences. So I feel like in that sense, to me at least, the automatic platinum status is what makes it so good, because otherwise it's very tough to get platinum status without this card. So it's really the only way to get it without any work. So that is why I am adding the Brilliant card to my draft pick.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I still can't agree that the Brilliant is a keeper card. Like I get the restaurant credit or whatever brings your fee down from like $650 to what, $350, but the only other keeper perk at that point is the free night award, right? So you're paying for a free night award plus platinum status for $350. That's much steeper than I think the Ritz card proposition. $450 annual fee, $300 airline credit. You're left with $150 for the exact same 85K certificate. So I guess is platinum status worth $200? I think
$200. I would pay personally $200 a year for platinum status. Couple breakfasts, couple room upgrades. You get one room upgrade to a nice suite.
I will give you that. If you go to Marriott's often at $200 for platinum status as opposed to gold, sure. But someone who doesn't frequent Marriott a lot and has just terrible impressions of Marriott and like getting Bonvoy and seeing all these things, it's not for me. But I think you make a convincing case for your particular use case. How about we'll agree on that one?
That sounds like a good compromise, yeah.
Okay. Great. So you've picked two. So it's my turn to pick the next two. I think I'll go for all right, I'll pick the Bonvoy business card. This one is an Amex card. It's a business card, so it doesn't count toward 524. I think the perks are almost identical to the Bonvoy Boundless, other than probably some of the multipliers. I think it's a $125 annual fee as opposed to $95, but you still get the $35K certificate each year. But potentially what might be most useful to people is that it gets you 15 elite nights that can stack with a personal elite night. So for example, if you have the Bonvoy Brilliant, which gives you 25 elite nights, plus the business, which gives you 15 elite nights, that can get you farther if you're trying to earn status, like if you're trying to go for titanium, for example, like Shaun. But keep in mind, if you have two Marriott personal cards, like let's say you have the Ritz and the Brilliant, or the Boundless or the Brilliant. Those won't stack, but the business elite night credits will stack with the personal. That makes sense. So that's a potential use case for this card. Also, it just doesn't count toward 524. So I feel like it's a lot more easier to justify for me. What do you think about this card?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to pick it, to be honest. That's why I would have grabbed both the Brilliant and the Business for my draft round. But I'm like, there's no way he's going to pick the Business if I take the Brilliant, because that's the route to Titanium right there. But
it happens.
You stole that. But that's a good pick. I think it's especially a powerful combo with you said, as you said, with the Brilliant, because that's the best way to get your as close to as possible to Titanium. Which, if you fly like United ever, the United Silver status, which comes with it, is really useful. So I think it's a very good pick.
Cool. Okay, I get another pick. Okay, I'm gonna go for another hotel card. Might be sensing a pattern. This is the Wells Fargo Choice Privileges Select card.
Okay.
I don't know if you anticipated. This is actually a fairly new card on the market. I think it's a $95 annual fee. Each year it gives you 30,000 choice points as an anniversary bonus, which more than makes up for that fee. Choice points can be potentially very valuable in certain locations like Europe. There's also sweet spots with, I think they have a partnership with luxury hotels, resorts. Is that right?
It's called preferred hotels and resorts. Yeah.
Yes, preferred hotels and resorts where you can use choice points to book more like boutique hotels that are very nice and could potentially be great value. I also think just giving you 30,000 anniversary points is much more flexible and easy than a certificate that is limited to one night and that probably expires like the other ones. So, it's a good keeper. I don't have it yet, but I may consider getting it in the future.
Damn, 2 picks. I was not expecting. I was going to grab that choice card for my next round, but okay. So, yeah, as you can see this pattern here, we're really grabbing hotel cards left and right because hotel cards are really the keeper cards of the credit card world. There's, they provide the free night certificates. They provide the keeper perks. It makes it very easy to justify compared to some of these airline cards where you have to do a lot of this spending to get any meaningful perks. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head here, what major hotel cards are left? So we took IHG. IHG is now gone. We've basically taken all the good Marriott cards, except if you go to like I know you can downgrade a card to like the Amex, like low annual fee one, but I'm not going to count that because you'd have to like apply for one first and then like downgrade it.
The $95 Amex?
Yeah, the $95 Amex one. But I don't think that counts. World of Hyatt Business is trash in its current state. And so...
Well, unless you have big spend and can get a lot of elite night credits. But again, this is an episode about keeper perks. And it's not really a keeper card under that definition.
Exactly. Yeah, I've taken the Hilton Aspire, which all the other Hiltons really don't stack well with the Hilton Aspire unless, of course, you're spending on them. So that doesn't exist. What other keeper card? Okay. I'm gonna go for an interesting one here. I'm gonna go with the Southwest Priority card from Chase. So the top tier Chase Southwest card. And so this is one of the few airline keeper cards out there. And this is a great card for if you're gonna fly Southwest. It's very easy to justify. So it's a $150 annual fee. You get the following benefits. So you get 7,500 Southwest points every anniversary. So not the first year, but every subsequent year. That's worth at least $100. And then you get a $75 Southwest credit on every anniversary. That helps justify it. And then you also get 4 upgraded boarding certificates, or I guess credits, every year. So the benefit with that is, on Southwest, there's no assigned seating. So your boarding position basically determines where you're going to sit. So on any 4 flights, doesn't matter how expensive or cheap it is, if you buy upgraded boarding using the card, it will credit you back the price of the upgraded boarding. And so if you combine all these credits, you would easily come out, probably double what the annual fee is if you're able to effectively fully utilize them. So I think that's a great pick. What are your thoughts on this card?
Yeah, I think another benefit that we should mention, and it's not really a keeper Kirk, but it can be useful to use leverage the sign-up bonus to get companion pass, which allows you and it allows your +1 to fly for free anytime you fly throughout the year if you earn it. So I think the keeper perks are okay to justify the fee, but I think that given that Southwest is already very I call it egalitarian airline, which it's open seating, everyone gets 2 free checked bags. That card, the priority card itself, isn't giving you that much more value just by having it. I think that's maybe one downside of the card, but I agree. If you can use the $75 credit plus the 7,500 anniversary points, it makes sense as a keeper. So I'll give you that. Okay, I think you have one more pick.
I have one more pick, yeah, and this is getting tougher as we go because we don't have the list. So it's just on the top of our heads here. I may have to go. Okay, so I'm just thinking here.
Also, before you go, is it okay if we have this as your last pick and then I'll do one last one?
Oh, this is my last pick. Oh, this is my.
Or do you have like a lot more you want to do?
No, yeah. Hold on. Okay. Wait. Wouldn't you have like way more than me then?
No, because I went second. I only get one more pick.
Oh, you'll have one more pick. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
You only have one more card. Okay,
So
fair.
Yeah.
So if this is my last pick, and we're assuming here that it's not like spend based, like I can't like, I mean, I could grab a spend based card, but like we're focusing on, not like something like a Freedom Flex, because a Freedom Flex, like, yes, it's good recurring perks, but like you have to spend on it, like to actually get those perks. Man, okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
think no annual fee cards don't count as keeper cards. Because
you're always,
definition,
that's fair. You can always keep them. Okay. Okay, this is gonna seem really stupid. Okay, this is gonna seem really stupid, and I'm hoping I come up with a better card as I'm thinking about this. But because I can't think of anything else right now, I'm gonna go with the Amtrak card, the premium Amtrak card, which it's gonna seem stupid, but just hear me out for a second. Okay, I forget the exact benefits of the card, but it actually is like a full-on keeper card. Like you get like a companion cert, you get upgrade certs. The points on Amtrak are extremely valuable. So if you value like Amtrak at all, it will actually like fully be a keeper card. Like I know you think it's like so stupid, but it's 100% a keeper card if you actually like travel on Amtrak ever. So that's like a huge asterisk there. I know like once you say your pick, it's probably going to be something like I didn't think of and go, God damn it, why didn't I just pick that card? But it is a keeper card. It fully is a keeper card. So with
does that have like anniversary points or something?
It's not an anniversary points, but you get like anniversary like companion cert or like upgrade certs. So
got it. Okay, so you
have
this card, right? But
I do have this card, yes.
Okay, how many of those points have you redeemed?
Okay, I've never actually taken Amtrak yet, but
that's what I thought.
No, but they are like valuable perks, and again, it is situational to someone that would actually use them. So in my case, I really got it because the sign-up bonus is very generous. But yeah,
okay.
When I take Amtrak, I'll make use of it.
Okay, maybe when I'm way past 524, I'll look into it. Okay, my last pick, I originally was not going to include this because I didn't really think it was keeper by definition. But given that you've picked things like Sapphire Reserve and Bomboy Brilliant, I think it only fair that I'd be able to pick this one. So this is going to be the US Bank Altitude Reserve. I think if the Sapphire Reserve is keeper, this one has to be. It's a $400 annual fee, but each year you get a very easy to use $325 annual travel/dining credit. Literally any dining purchase goes toward that credit. Any travel purchase goes to that credit. You don't even have to use their portal or anything. So that already brings your effective annual fee down to $75. Then I think the best perk of this card is the 3x mobile wallet category bonus. So anytime you use Google Pay or Apple Pay with this card, you get 3x points, whether it's dining, whether it's grocery, whether it's the post office that accepts Google Pay, whatever. So that's really powerful. You can also redeem your points at 1.5 cents per point using real-time rewards. So they don't have transfer partners, but they do allow you to redeem your points at a fixed 1.5 cents per point if you enable real-time rewards. How that works is if it's enabled anytime you make an eligible travel purchase, they'll send you a text message saying, hey, do you want to redeem your points for this purchase at 1.5 cents per point? If you say yes, they'll just give you a statement credit, deduct amount of points. So I just treat this as almost a 4.5% cashback card on any mobile wallet spend, which is almost all spend now. Most places take mobile wallet because of the 3x and then the 1.5 cents per point redemption. Now, I think, there is that $75 effective annual fee, but from what I've heard, they are very generous with retention offers that typically exceed $75 in value, as well as, I think it's easy to make up for it with the 3x category on mobile wallet. It also is like a Visa Infinite premium travel card, so it basically has all the travel and purchase protections that the Sapphire Reserve has at a much lower effective annual fee. Yes, and although it doesn't have transfer partners, I think the really strong mobile wallet category and the 1.5 cents per point redemption more than makes up for it. So that's going to be my final pick. Shaun, what do you think about my pick?
I think it's overall a pretty good pick. I think the only like weakness is that you do have to actually like spend on the card. Now, of course, I have the same weakness in the Sapphire Reserve. So it depends on like how you're viewing it. But I think that, yeah, the biggest weakness is you actually have to spend on the card to like earn, back the credits or to earn back like, enough in the difference between the annual fee and the credit.
Yeah.
But I do think it is a pretty strong pick, especially because the priority pass does come with restaurant access.
Yes, but it's only 8 visits per year, including guests. So I mean, under my strategy, I would use the Venture X Priority Pass for my unlimited lounge visits, and then do up to 8 restaurant visits per year from my U.S. Bank. And then, of course, with your Sapphire Reserve, you can just have both of them unlimited. But if I upgrade my Bonvoy Boundless to Ritz, I get the Priority Pass.
You can't say if you upgrade. That is such a cheat. Because I was gonna grab the Ritz card. Like, oh, if I upgrade this card and I get 4 Aspires, yeah, then.
Sure. Okay, but for those people who are listening, the Ritz card Priority Pass is potentially the best one because it affords you unlimited guests, unlike most other cards. It does come with restaurants, and it also gives you access to the Chase Sapphire lounges that normally you must have a Chase Sapphire Reserve to have. So there's a new Chase Sapphire Lounge in Boston. If you just have a general Priority Pass from any issuer, you're allowed in 1 time a year. Beyond that, only Chase Sapphire Reserve and Ritz Priority Pass holders get unlimited visits. So that's another quirk.
Now you got a pretty good setup there. So like in summary, I'll just say my setup real quick, just for people. So I ended up with the Hilton Aspire, Wyndham Business, Sapphire Reserve, IHG Personal, Envoy Brilliant, Southwest Priority, and the Premium Amtrak card. I forget the exact name.
Okay, and then I got the IHG Business card, Capital One Venture X, World of Hyatt Personal, Marriott Bonvoy Boundless, Marriott Bonvoy Business card from Amex, the Wells Fargo Choice Privileges card, the $95 Select card in particular, and then US Bank Altitude Reserve. So, leave a comment below. Who do you think had the better collection? Who came out on top? I guess you can be the judge of that. And then before we wrap up, I want to say you'll notice a general pattern with our picks is that we heavily favored hotel cards over airline cards. Now, we've talked about airline cards in the past and the problems we see with them. But Shaun, do you want to give us a quick explanation of why we have this trend?
Yeah, the biggest reason for airline cards that they're not keepers is that they require you to either fly that airline a lot or do a significant amount of spending on the card. Whereas with hotel cards, that really isn't the case across the board. They all provide you some recurring benefits without any spending required. All you have to do is, use the credits you have to stay at the hotel to get value. And it only requires like 1 or 2 hotel stays a year to get value out of each card respectively. So that's a really like nice perk of hotel cards compared to airline. And so that's why pretty much like any kind of keeper setup is going to be heavily, heavily favored to hotels over airlines.
Yep. Okay, well, I think that brings us to the end of today's episode. Remember, please leave a comment on what you think about our collections, who you think came out on top today. And Shaun, you want to talk about the guests thing really quickly?
Yeah, so we are looking to take on guests for special episodes to interview you. If you think you'd be a good fit, join our Discord at the link in the description, the Traveling Discord server. Learn about award travel completely for free. But send Sherwin or I a DM, and we'll get back to you if we think you're a good candidate. What we're looking for is someone that primarily would have like an existing following. So like maybe social media, maybe you're working on something award travel related or some kind of community recognition. Or if you have something interesting about you that you think would be, make you a good candidate for an interview, that still works. And then also someone that has like a dedicated mic and webcam and is willing to record locally so we can ensure good audio and visual quality.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then, as always, if you enjoyed today's episode, please like and subscribe. We're getting very close to 1,000 subscribers, so if we can exceed that, it would be a great milestone for us. Also, if any of the cards we mentioned today interest you, or you want to apply for any card for that matter, please consider using the referral links in the description below. It really helps support our channel and it gives us the opportunity to continue providing quality content to you. So thank you so much for listening, and until next time, goodbye.